Ladies and gentlemen, I want to welcome you in a very special way to be part of our analysis. If you're watching our channel for the very first time, please take a moment and subscribe to our channel. Click the notification bell so that when we do another video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. To our subscribers, from the bottom of my heart, I want to thank you very much for the greatest support that you are giving to this channel. The truth is, this channel can never be where it is, can never grow without you. I am at 1,000 subscribers and I'm running towards 2,000 subscribers. I'm counting on you. Please, if you are a viewer and you've been watching perhaps our videos and you have not yet subscribed, please take a moment and be part of our subscribers. I want to appreciate you too for the feedback that I've received. I take them seriously because it is those feedbacks that will make me grow. In particular, there are concerns about the quality of our videos and the quality of our audio. I want to promise you that I'm working on something better. Our camera is that of poor quality, and that is what the reason why it's giving us, poor quality videos, but there's something I'm working on. Now, the elections that we are approaching is one of a kind because it's pitting two main contenders, Raila Amolo Odinga of the Azimio One Kenya Alliance and William Samoei Ruto of Kenya Kwanza Alliance. Raila Amolo Odinga has contested in this country, has tried his hands to reach State House 4 times without success. William Samoei Ruto is doing for the first time, and he will be the luckiest man if he tries in his first attempt, he gets to State House, he will have made history. It's not very easy. The uniqueness of this election is one that will be written in historical books. Because Raila Amolo Odinga, for the very 4 times that he tried his hand, he never received the support of the state. For the very first time, the outgoing president is supporting Raila Odinga. The system, the state, the deep state, if you look at all the state officers, they are supporting Raila Odinga. In fact, never before in the history of Kenya has Raila gained any support from the Kikuyu nation. But this time round, Raila Odinga is enjoying support from the Kikuyu nation, the Mount Kenya Foundation. In fact, his running mate is Martha Wangari Karua from the larger Mount Kenya region. William Samoei Ruto is also making history because in 2013 and 2017, they teamed up together with the president in what was the famous Uhuruto, Kumira Kumira. Ruto was promised that after Uhuru does his 2-term limit of 10 years, he was definitely going to hand over the baton to William Ruto. And William Ruto is going into these elections a very bitter man because the president has betrayed him. While he believes that the president must keep his promise to campaign for him, the president believes that William Ruto misbehaved and they separated. They went their separate ways. He is trying to show the manifestation of his bitterness to Mr. Kenyatta is shown through his allies. He is in between a rock and a hard stone. He is trying to maintain his friendship with the president so that the Kikuyu nation should not see that he lacks respect for his boss. But at the same time, he is vehemently complaining about this open betrayal. So, ladies and gentlemen, this election is one of a kind, and many analysts believe that it is going to be contested. Now, as we approach August 9th, focus is slowly turning to the IEBC and the courts. Because after we have voted in 9th August, the IEBC will now take over to count, collect, and collate the results. Then that body will announce, Mr. Chebukati will announce the results. Do you think this is going to be easy? I don't think so, because one person, the loser, is definitely going to complain and contest the results. And when this happens, the Constitution allows the loser to go to court. And so the second body that the attention is turning to is the judiciary, the Supreme Court bench. William Samoei Ruto is likely to contest this election, because if you look at what has happened before, he has complained that there are plans to rig these elections. Raila Amolo Odinga, on the other hand, as I said, is confident that he has always won the elections in 2007, 2013, and 2017, that the only thing that he lacked, the only disadvantage that he had, was that he didn't have the support of the deep state, the system, the outgoing president. So he believes that this time round, it is his to lose. But in this video, I want us to discuss how the state is slowly forcing William Ruto to accept the results in case he loses in August polls. Before I delve into this, again, subscribe to our channel, ladies and gentlemen, and like our videos, click the notification bell. After Uhuru Kenyatta and William Samoei Ruto came together in what is widely known as the handshake, they came up with a 9-point or 10-point agenda of issues that they felt are ailing this country since independence. And they collected them and summarized them into what was called the Building Bridges Initiative. Among other things, they thought of what has been causing post-election violence after every election. And so they went to parliament, they went round to persuade Kenyans to pass what they thought was now the permanent remedy to issues that have always bedeviled this country after every election. One person was not happy because he read mischief. William Samoei Ruto and his allies read a mischief. They thought that the BBI was only meant to as a ladder to take Raila to presidency, and he opposed it. He opposed it in public, he opposed it in his campaigns, he opposed it in parliament, and when all were in vain, he ended up in court. And it is there in court where he won this battle. The courts that have had been thought of getting orders from the executive pronounced itself as an independent body, because the president is the head of state and the head of so people thought that the president had powers, that it could control the courts to pronounce judgment in his favor, but this did not happen. While many thought that perhaps the president had fallen out with Maraga, had cut down their budget, the president had refused to appoint the judges as had been requested by the judiciary, and so they thought that this was a revenge to the president. But many scholars and legal minds believed that the courts acted independently and gave William Ruto his win. This is one thing that is going to haunt William Ruto, because he hailed this judgment. He said it was the best that had ever happened to Kenyans.
Leo mahakama ya juu zaidi ya Supreme Court Kenya imesema hiyo mambo ya BBI ilikuwa ni ukora mtupu na utapeli mtupu. Hawa majamaa walitumia pesa za serikali, wakatumia uwezo wa serikali, wakasukuma wakitumia njia ya kimabavu kujaribu kuhujumu katiba ya Kenya.
And so, ladies and gentlemen, in the event that William Ruto loses elections and he runs to the Supreme Court, there is no way he's going to contest and to disagree with their agreement, because in times when he needed their favor, they ruled in his favor and he held them. And so William Ruto must come out as a person who accepts, who respects the court verdicts, whether it is in his favor or against him. Now that he accepted this ruling of the BBI and held the judges, he must do so when they rule against him in case he loses and go to court. Recently, their main gubernatorial aspirant in Nairobi, Mr. Johnson Sakaja, had his issues with his certificate. This was contested and it ended up in a court. While many thought that perhaps this was political, it was both political and legal. Sakaja went to court, and when many thought that the courts were going to thwart his efforts of becoming the governor of Nairobi, they again ruled in his favor, and Sakaja was allowed to go ahead and contest for Nairobi gubernatorial position.
Because we've had all that fuss that has been going around about qualifications. I am sufficiently qualified to run for Nairobi. The documents are presented are the same documents I presented 5 years ago when I vied for senator. I'm still the same Sakaja, and everything is verifiable. So we're grateful, and I think that has been put to rest.
Again, this was a ruling that favored William Samoei Ruto. And these rulings are very critical because Sakaja is going to contest against the Polycarp Igathe, who is believed to be a candidate of the Mount Kenya Foundation, who is believed to be, sponsored there to take care of their businesses. Igathe is a man who people believe has papers, a man who has had his time in the capital market, a man who has held several positions in different companies. So Sakaja was seen as one who was going to spoil for Sakaja, but the courts gave William Ruto and the Kenya Kwanza victory. Will he accept their verdict if they rule against him in the August polls in case he ends up in court? That is the question many are asking. In the BBI, when the Sakaja matter went to Chebukati and the Commission of University Education wrote a letter to the IEBC to revoke Mr. Sakaja's papers, to revoke his certificate as an aspirant, the IEBC pronounced themselves very clearly, and Chebukati said that they do not have that capacity. They can only act if the court order them to do so. Noting that the courts had allowed Mr. Sakaja to run, Mr. Sakaja had his ways again. And so William Ruto held this decision again. The IEBC ruled in their favor of the Kenya Kwanza, in favor of William Ruto, in favor of Sakaja. In the event that after the August polls, the IEBC pronounces Raila Odinga and Azimio as the winners of the presidential contest, will William Ruto hail that decision? Will he accept? Because what happens is that William Samoei Ruto must now come out as a person who accepts decisions of independent bodies. He accepted the ruling of the BBI. BBI was thwarted in the High Court. It went to the Appellate Court, and the Courts of Appeal held the ruling of the High Court, and it was all palatable for William Ruto. Ladies and gentlemen, what is good for the goose is good for the gander. And William Ruto must accept the ruling of the courts and the ruling of the BBI. Recently, when the IEBC held their stand that they were not going to use manual voting system, the Azimio party contested and said that this was going to be dangerous. And they argued that there must be an alternative, there must be manual voting system. William Samoei Ruto went ahead and agreed with the IEBC. In fact, William is on record as saying that they don't need a manual voting system.
We do not want a manual register. If you give us sufficient safeguards that an electronic register will function without any chance of failure, then we are good. And finally,
it has been seen, and many people think that William Samoei Ruto is enjoying support from the IEBC. On the same note, when Raila Amolo Odinga and his team argued that almost a quarter of the permanent employees of the IEBC are coming from Ruto's ethnic community, Ruto vehemently opposed this and said that every Kenyan has equal opportunities to work for the IEBC and he doesn't see a problem with it.
we have no problem with any Kenyan serving in any capacity, so long as they have been recruited competitively and they have the requisite skills and competencies. We have absolutely no preference for any Kenyan from any community. And if our competitors have a problem with certain Kenyans who come from certain communities, you can work out with them. We have no problem if they are replaced.
And so, ladies and gentlemen, I want to submit to you that in the past, William Samoei Ruto has enjoyed rulings in his favor from the courts of justice in Kenya in critical conditions, on critical matters. He has also enjoyed decisions that favor him from the IEBC on critical matters. Because if the IEBC had thwarted Mr. Sakaja, this would have ruined Ruto's chances. Because getting someone of the caliber of Sakaja is not very easy. If the courts had ruled to accept BBI, it would have been a different story today. The question that many are asking, will William Samoei Ruto accept the verdict of the High Court, or the verdict of the Supreme Court, and the verdict of the IEBC if it does not favor him? And ladies and gentlemen, I think that William Samoei Ruto is being set up to accept defeat if he loses the August general elections, and that is my take.